During the past 4 weeks, we have been focusing on following in His steps. We have been recognizing the footprints we are called to follow. We have considered what it means for us to be passionate in prayer, to come intentionally into His presence through worship, to give with radical generosity, and to surrender ourselves through service. Now it is time for us to make a commitment. Welcome to Fraser 365. I'm Dr. Neil Epler, Associate Pastor of Congregational Care and Older Adult Ministries at Fraser Church in Montgomery, Alabama. As we prepare to commit ourselves to pray, worship, give, and serve, we want to bathe this time in prayer and seek God's guidance and blessing. Thank you for joining us. Today is day 4 of praying for our commitments for the coming year. Today we are praying for passionate prayer. Our text comes from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 18, verses 1 through 8. Then Jesus told His disciples a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up. He said, "In a certain town there was a judge who neither feared God nor cared what people thought. And there was a widow in that town who kept coming to him with the plea, 'Grant me justice against my adversary.' For some time he refused, but finally he said to himself, 'Even though I don't fear God or care what people think, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will see that she gets justice, so that she won't eventually come and attack me.' And the Lord said, 'Listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God bring about justice for His chosen ones who cry out to Him day and night? Will He keep putting them off? I tell you, He will see that they get justice, and quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will He find faith on the earth?'" Some thoughts. As we approach this time of commitment and commissioning, I challenge you to be fervent in prayer. As we consider each of the 4 areas of prayer, worship, giving, and serving, I encourage you to pray in at least these 3 ways and apply them to the 4 areas of commitment. First, praying for God to speak directly to your heart. Ask God for wisdom and insight, and know that this requires intense listening. Speak, Lord, your servant is listening. Then pray for yourself. What is God calling you to do? How is He challenging you to step out in faith? How is He encouraging you to grow and perhaps try something new? And finally, and perhaps most importantly, pray for others. Pray for your brothers and sisters in the church. Pray for those in your community and the world, and how your commitment might make a difference. And don't forget to pray for your family. How will my commitment be an example for them and make a difference in their lives as well? In our scripture today, Jesus shares a parable about how we need to be persistent in prayer. It is so easy to pray quickly and then to forget about it. We live in a busy world. We live in a world of now. We expect things to happen quickly. We are trained to get things right away. Waiting is an inconvenience. Things that happen or move slowly drive us mad. In this passage, Jesus shares about a widow who is willing to continue nagging a judge until she gets justice. We are not told how long she continued in her efforts, but we know she was not successful right away. We are told that the judge refused to listen to her for some time in verse 4. Pray that God would challenge you to be persistent and diligent in prayer. Pray that God would help you to continue praying as long as necessary to receive his blessing. The widow continued coming after the judge until he finally grew weary and decided to give in. The widow receives the justice and the outcome that she was longing for. I have been asked, how long should I pray for a loved one? Perhaps these are prayers about a person's salvation. They could be prayers for someone's health and well-being. It might be about a job or a relationship. Perhaps they are prayers for someone to overcome an addiction or bad habit in their life. My answer is always to continue to pray until that prayer is answered, or you or they draw their last breath. I think this is especially true when praying about someone's salvation. The only exception is if you hear clearly from God that you should stop praying. I think about Paul and his thorn in the flesh. Therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." This is from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 7 through 9. As you consider your commitment to prayer, is there something you have stopped praying for? Is there some area where you need to be persistent in prayer? How can you keep diligent in your prayer life? God is not like the judge in this parable in the sense that he purposely puts us off. He is always ready to listen, even more than we are to pray. He encourages us to pray for our needs, but he especially wants us to pray for others. At the end of today's passage, the question is asked, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? Verse 8. Will God find us faithful in prayer? Will he find us praying for the needs of our friends, our family, our community, and the world? How is God calling you to pray? Are you willing to commit yourself to be persistent in prayer? And now some questions for you to consider. What would it take for God to give you a heart for prayer? How do you plan to be persistent in your prayer life? What are some of the prayers you can offer for your friends, family, community, and world? Thank you for listening, and have a blessed day.